The college basketball experience, Seton Hall Pirates 2022-23 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. Use the promo code NFCBeast for 15% off, which is active until the Eagles or Giants lose their next game. Yes, you got to check that out. We got some campus edition t-shirts that we got going too, and you better believe we will have you covered for college basketball t-shirts and college football t-shirts. So check that stuff out today at the SGPN merch store. And remember, folks, to let it ride.
This is Martin Cleese, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Experience Seton Hall Pirates 2022-23 season preview episode. Whew. My name is Kobe Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
One of the most exciting teams to talk about, I believe, in 2022-23 college basketball season. Folks, remember, subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for, former video coordinator for Hall of Fame coach Bob Huggins at West Virginia University, host of the NBA Gambling Podcast, NFL Gambling Podcast. I keep saying all this stuff, but also the Ryan and Rush Show. Check it out and give it up for my guy Ryan McIntyre. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Colby, and we are diving into Seton Hall basketball year one under Shaheen Holloway.
Dude, this is great. Like, look,
yes,
St. Peter's story was one of the best things that's happened in college basketball ever, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I loved seeing, as sad as it is to see him go, at least he's going home. Mm-hmm. And you can't, a lot of times you see the Jimmy Larinaga leave George Mason to go to Miami. Shaka Smart leave VCU to go to Texas. You go, one by one on these, and look, that's capitalism. They got a better opportunity, more money, and that's great and everything. But, man, it's cool sometimes when you see the Bob McKillop stay at Davidson for 30 years or something like that. But for this one, the shoe fits, because when I think of Seton Hall basketball, as a guy that grew up loving college hoops, back to the days of Terry DeHare, all right? Shaheen Holloway is Seton Hall basketball. And, yes, it was a magical run, but the shoe fits, man. This is a match made in heaven right here, and I hope it succeeds. And I do think it will. What'd you make of the hire in general?
I mean, they hit a home run. There's no other way to describe it. I mean, he graduated there in 2000, goes to the NBA, in and out of the league, goes overseas, plays, gets his coaching start at Iona, then goes over to Seton Hall. Then he gets a St. Pete job, goes to the Elite Eight. I mean, and then he comes back home, where it all started back at Seton Hall's alma mater. So, easy story to pull for here. So hoping year one's a good one for him.
Dude, there's certain times in sports where you'll see, not even in sports, but in life, you'll see people get an opportunity that they didn't necessarily earn, right? And that's just sometimes the way things work. This guy's paid his dues, and this is one where hard work pays off, and I'm going to be a big Seton Hall fan because of it. I mean, look at this guy's path. I thought that was great about, the way I loved his answers when he was asking on that magical run with St. Peter's last year in the press. I just loved the mentality. He seems a down to earth guy. I wanted to play for him. Problem was I wasn't any good. But yeah, if they needed a play-by-play guy, I'm in. But honestly, look at him. He went to high school in Elizabeth, New Jersey, plays for Seton Hall. Look at this grind that he did. He played all over the world. He played for the Chicago Skyliners, folks. He played for the Chester Jets.
Yes.
He played for the London Towers, Istanbul, Turkey, all around the Jersey Express. I mean, then he, as you mentioned, he was at Iona, then Seton Hall as an assistant, then head coach of St. Peter's. The guy has been working, and this is hard work paying off, man. And I am here for it all day. I cannot wait to watch this team and this era of basketball at Seton Hall. I'm very excited. I think there's a buzz around this program. I think it could get, they could bring in some recruits that maybe they haven't seen in some time. Kevin Willard was all right, but I also thought it was kind of a lateral move to go to Maryland. I get it. Maryland's won a national championship, but that was under Gary Williams. I kind of thought it was a lateral move, but it works out. I think if you're Seton Hall, if you told me, I'd rather have Shaheen Holloway as my coach, seeing what he's done and being that he's a legend there, than Kevin Willard. And that's not a shot at Willard. I think he's still a solid basketball coach, but I think it's a perfect scenario. In a way, I think they're like, hey, go to Maryland,
Yeah, no, I mean, Shaheen Holloway worked under Kevin Willard, and Shaheen Holloway has now won more NCAA tournament games than Kevin Willard. That was the knock. That was the knock with Kevin Willard, is he would always get to the dance. He just couldn't. I mean, he couldn't get out of the first round other than 2018. So yeah, no, it's nice having Holloway kind of with Neptune at Villanova, where he goes somewhere else, he gets head coaching experience, and you bring him home. And yeah, no, the buzz is real in Jersey City right now.
Oh, I'm loving it. And I think they might be able to get some things going. Maybe they need to get the NIL collective going, get some good basketball players. I got to mention it every episode. Start your football program, please. Please. All right. There's only one school in the state of New Jersey in D1 in the FBS. The taking is there for you. Start your football program, people. But looking back at last season, Seton Hall, 21-11, 11-8 in conference, 13-17-1 when it comes to gambling. So gamblers did not like betting on Kevin Willard's bunch because your money went bye-bye. 91st in adjusted offense, 31st in adjusted defense, 229th in three-point shooting, 53rd in offensive rebounding, 226th in defensive rebounding. That's always a head-scratcher. How could you be that good at offensive rebounding? But I don't know. 61st in free throw shooting, 167th in pace, 124th in the nation at taking care of the basketball. So, the numbers speak pretty well. Like, they say, okay, it's a pretty good team. I mean, anything jump out to you there that if anything, you would think they would have won more, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, you mentioned it. They kind of had good stats, but they just, I mean, they were okay. 21-11, 11-8, middle of the pack in the Big East. That kind of sums up the Kevin Willard, Seton Hall era in a nutshell, to be honest.
Yeah,
just
it really
solid, but just not great. Not the next level.
Yeah, and yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I think like, honestly, if you were to take a look, like if you had to say blindly, Colby, name 10 teams that you're super excited to watch this season. And I'm not talking like the 10 best teams, like, oh, Gonzaga brings back everybody. All right. I'm talking about the ones that have my interest of, can this program elevate to this next level? And how will the shoe fit with and I think Seton Hall's got to be on that list. If you were going to do that, I think it just has to be on that list of teams that are very intriguing to me all across the land. I mean, how about you? Like, I mean, I think,
no doubt.
I just think it's easily one of the most interesting teams in college basketball coming into this season. So should be great to watch. Now the transfer portal gives, the transfer portal takes, graduation. They lose Jared Rhoden, 15 points. Well, basically 16 points and 7 boards from a season ago. They lose Bryce Aiken, I mean, these were some pretty damn good players on their team a season ago. They lose Myles, Cale. Those three guys combined, if you add up everything here, this would be about 40 points per game. That's huge to lose that. Now they did, and this is what I love. They were very active in the transfer portal. Now, I say love this because there's a couple guys that I think fit the profile. And one is they went out and got Al-Amir Dawes from Clemson. That's just a perfect fit to me when I think of Dawes' game down there in Clemson. I think Shaheen Holloway's it just fits to me. That just fits. I'm excited to see that. And then obviously KC and Ndefo coming in from St. Peter's where he played with Holloway. That dude was a beast on defensively. I mean, that was what's so great about watching those Holloway teams was how unselfish they were, but also the way they played defense. Oh, fuck. That was beautiful to watch, man. Beautiful to watch. They also bring in Dre Davis from Louisville. They also bring in Femi Odukale. I'm probably butchering that. I remember he was solid at Pitt last year, but it's football season. Odukale. Oduko. I don't fucking know. This is part of the fun. This is where I drink. Also bring in, these names. Abdul Ndiaye from Illinois State. Once again, my apologies if I'm butchering that. And then three freshmen in Jaquan Sanders, Tay Davis, and Jaquan Harris. What do you make of all those new faces? And I think another good thing is that Kadary Richmond's back. Kadary Richmond,
big time.
Oh, I've been a big fan of his game for a minute now. They return him. They also, obviously bring back Tyrese Samuel, who played solid for them a season ago. Trey Jackson is back as well. So they got some guys that I think could work out for them. Jameer Harris as well. What do you make of the whole team right now?
You needed the babble promo when you're reading off some of those names. So it's
it's like some of our fans' favorite episodes are when I do BYU football, and I'm just sitting there like Sasu Alumale, and I'm just like, man, get me out of this. And what helps me though is then when I go on YouTube and I watch the clips of professional announcers that are, they've been in meetings all week. And they're still getting the name wrong. So I feel a little bit better when that happens. I feel like that's going to happen with this roster. But this is a good roster, man. Yetna's back too. Yetna, the big man, the 6'8" forward, he's back. I think it's a pretty good team. It's kind of going to be hard to project the starting five, but overall, I think he walks into a pretty good situation.
I think he walks into a really good situation. And you talked about it with the St. Peter's team, man. They got after you defensively. And I think this is the same fit here. This is a deep team too, and they're old. I mean, I'm looking at 8 seniors between regular seniors, COVID seniors, or graduate seniors. Everybody's a senior nowadays. So, but yeah, like you said, man, they bring back Richmond and Yetna as well to go with this transfer portal class. I mean, and Samuel. So, I mean, this is a good solid unit for Holloway in year number 1 at Seton Hall.
Yeah. And we're going to project the starting 5. But first, I want to tell you that the college basketball experience Seton Hall Pirates season preview is brought to you by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. And remember, folks, just like I mentioned that the college experience is together on YouTube, the College Football Experience Podcast and the College Basketball Experience Podcast and the College Baseball Experience Podcast comes together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. Check us out. But also, the Sports Gambling Podcast is giving you a chance to win your choice of either an autographed Lawrence Taylor jersey. Come on. We're talking to New Jersey here. Lawrence Taylor's a fucking legend there, Giants fans. And then your option of Lawrence Taylor or Brian Dawkins. Wait, well, South Jersey's closer. They're Eagle fans, right? Well, you got Brian Dawkins jersey. Either way, you get a chance to get an autographed LT or Brian Dawkins jersey for free. The contest is free to enter. Subscribe, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. Once again, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. Comment on a video. Each video is a new chance to enter. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss SGP contacting you when they pull the winner. And boom, you're gonna be showing up to the family reunion looking good. They're gonna be saying, "Hey, fucking LT, I knew I liked you, man." You know what I mean? Boom. So go get that thing. All right, we are back talking Seton Hall Pirate basketball, and I'm gonna do my best guess with the team bringing in this many freshmen and transfers. I'm gonna do my best guess on the starting five here. I am going to guess that Kadari Richmond and Al-Amir Dawes will be the backcourt there. I know Dre Davis got 20 minutes a game at Louisville. However, I'm very curious to see if they go Ndefo at the 3, Yetna at the 4, and Samuel at the 5. Or, I mean, I'm very curious. They could go small ball. I mean, they have a lot. They have depth. They could do a lot of different things here. What do you think of the starting five, and what do you think it will be?
I think it's going to be Richmond, Dawes, Davis, Ndefo, and Samuel, how you originally said it, and then bring Yetna's experience off the bench as well. You mentioned it. Holloway's, this is a versatile roster. He can go big. He can go small. They can play fast. They can grind it out in the half court. I really like this team.
Dude, Odukale at Pitt was really good last year. He could start. He averaged 11 points per game at Pitt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Projecting the starting five, I mean, they got a good 9-man rotation. And if any of those freshmen start playing ball, Tay Davis or Jaquan Sanders, they might have a really good rotation. Like, I'm talking 10, 11 deep then. I mean, this is a really talented team, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And this is a good roster. And it's going to be a different guy every night. It feels like with this team, they got 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that could be the leading scorer on any given night. It seems like.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Let's get to the schedule. Cause gosh, I cannot wait for Pirate basketball. I really think, they're one of the most intriguing teams in all the land. They open the season. Well, look, the season starts November 7th. And by the way, folks, when the season goes live, much like we've done over here on the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Basketball Experience, we've been doing this shit for years. We handicap every single D1 game, right? But not only that, and we've been doing that for years, never had a losing season. But you're going to be able to hear us live talking college hoops every single day of the college basketball season. Yes. So every single night we will drop an episode talking about tomorrow's games, our best bets of the season, or of the day. I'm sorry, not the season. The best bets of the day. And then not only that, we're just college basketball junkies. So we're sports gambling. Yes, we kill it there. But also we're going to talk about the games you should be watching, the matchups you should be watching, what's intriguing, what's not intriguing. Will this game be a blowout? It'll be a lot of fun. And if you're brand new to college basketball, I highly recommend it because, we've only been fans of college basketball since fucking, the late 80s. So, boom, let's go. So, look, the season tips on November 7th. They don't start their season, though, until November 9th when Monmouth comes to town. Monmouth is good.
Yes.
King Rice is the coach of Monmouth. I thought they were going to go to the NCAA tournament last year when the brackets came out, and they had, I know they had to battle Iona and St. Peter's. I was like, Monmouth can go to the tournament. Watch out. Watch out because that's game one. Sometimes you got to build continuity with all these new faces. This could be one of the ones you're talking about here. Monmouth keeps a good squad, man. I will go St. Peter's because it's the home opener. But wouldn't that be just a strong fuck you from Monmouth because they also reside in Jersey, going to grab a win. Man, this is on Fox Sports 1. You're getting me excited already for these games. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Did I say St. Peter's? I'm gonna go DePaul. I'm gonna go DePaul. My bad. I'm gonna go DePaul.
You mean Seton Hall?
Jesus, I need a drink.
I was getting ready to say, like, when I heard you say St. Peter's, I said, no, he's at the other Jersey school now. So, yeah, no, I'm going to go Seton as well. And you could talk about who's on deck for Seton Hall after this, but this is like this.
I think that's what confused me too. I'm looking at that. So this is a huge game, though. Yeah, continue. I didn't mean this is a losable game too.
This is Monmouth's Super Bowl. They get up for these Jersey and New York games. Like you said, they're a Jersey school, just like Satyrs, who they have next. And you touch on that, but yeah, these little guys that any chance they could pick off Big Brother any time, they are going to get up for that game. But I'll take the Pirates to win a close one.
I just want to let people know King Rice and Monmouth were 21-13 a year ago. This is a good team. This is a good team. I'm telling you. I will take Seton Hall, not DePaul, not fucking UCLA. All right, not whatever. I'm talking Seton Hall basketball. My apologies. Then St. Peter's comes to town. That's why it was confusing for me. I was reading the schedule that said St. Peter's next. My apologies. But St. Peter's, Shaheen Holloway's old school, now comes into Newark. This is on Fox Sports 2. What are you doing here? Obviously, the cupboard's empty, though. I feel like everybody left. I feel like a lot of the key players from last year's team left. Egert's at I think he went to, where did he go? Bryant, I think he went to Bryant. They just lost a bunch of different players, I think, in the portal. Yeah. But what do you make of this matchup? I know it's a former assistant. So you're going to have Basir Mason taking on Shaheen Holloway. That should be fun. This is going to be a win, right? Come on.
Yeah, no, he can't lose to St. Pete's. I mean, that's where he left. So that's a pride game for him. He'll get it done. But, yeah, like it's kind of like Monmouth, though. St. Peter's is going to get up for this game, trying to beat their old head coach.
I'll be honest, though. I stand corrected on Basir Mason. He wasn't an assistant. He was an assistant at Wagner a long time ago. I thought he was an assistant at St. Peter's, but he was the head coach of Wagner recently. And I'll be honest, I was high on that Wagner team a season ago. I think they upset VCU at VCU, if memory serves me correct.
I want to say they beat St. Peter's too.
Watch out! That's a good hire. He 165 and 130 as a head coach. So St. Peter's, hey, they're gonna make it tough on them. These opening two games are fantastic. So 2-0, I got them 2-0. Then comes the Gavitt games where they take on Iowa in Newark. I think Iowa's taking a step back this year, and I think this is a dub for the Pirates. How about yourself?
Yep, I'm riding the home team. I think they can bother Iowa with their athleticism.
Then they get Wagner, the same team that I just alluded to. It'll be interesting to see how good Wagner does breaking in a new coach. But I think 4-0. Give me 4-0.
Yeah, no, they're playing all the local teams. So, yeah, no, I'll ride Seton
Hall. I love it.
Headed to Orlando next.
Yeah, to take on Penny Hardaway in Memphis. And this is one that is really interesting to me because we know Penny's teams are unbelievably talented. But I think one could argue, and I'm a Penny Hardaway fan, but I think one could argue that they haven't lived up to their talent. Now, maybe that was James Weissman getting that moving company. I don't know that because he got suspended or whatever, and the NCAA was in the wrong. Apparently, either way, I have a hard time with this game. I think I'm going to take Memphis, though.
Yeah, no, I went back and forth on this one, too. I'm going to ride Memphis just because they got the better roster, but I think this game comes down to the wire.
This is on Thanksgiving.
I know.
We get the fucking Egg Bowl, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, get some NFL, and we get a loaded college basketball slate. I lean Memphis slightly. So that would put me through November at 4-1. And you the same, right? 4-1?
Yeah, 4-1. I'll have them dropping that game. So
then they take on just the Big East Big 12 battle. They head to Lawrence, Kansas, to the Fog. Take on the Jayhawks. That's a loss.
Hey, you skipped the other two games because it's one of those tournaments. So they would play the winner or loser of Oklahoma, Nebraska. So,
Oklahoma or Nebraska, they can beat them. I guess Oklahoma, Porter Moser would give them a game.
Yeah,
I think they're capable of beating. Yeah, so yeah, I'll take them to win game 2.
1-1
Yeah.
and the other side contains Florida State, Siena, Ole Miss, Stanford. So I think Seton Hall gets out of this 2-1.
They're going to probably be playing Florida State, and I think that's tricky though.
Yeah.
If they were to beat them, I'm saying they would probably. I think Florida State's probably going to come out of the other side of that bracket. So if they did knock off Memphis, and then knocked off Oklahoma or whoever they played, they would. I think they would. Gun to my head right now, I think they'd be playing Florida State. Yeah. I'll go 2-1. I'll go 2-1. I'll join you.
That's a solid outing. Yep.
So that would be, and that's the ESPN Events Invitational. That would put us at 6-1 in November. So I stand corrected. Sorry. So then on December 1st, they head to Kansas. That's a loss.
Yeah, no, I was trying to give them a couple more wins before they go to the Fog and get their ass beat. So yeah, they're not winning that one.
Then they get the Lincoln Lions University on December 7th. That is not a FBS school. Or I'm sorry, that is not a D1 basketball school. This is at Walsh Gymnasium, though. Love it. Okay, let's move along. That's a win, right?
Yes.
Okay, then the Garden State Classic. Shout out to the schedule. This is a great schedule because you're playing a lot of local teams. You're going to Piscataway. It's on Fox Sports 1. Taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. What are you doing here? Steve Pikel's bunch, right?
I'm going Rutgers because the game's at Rutgers. I think they're really good. That's at the rack, right? Yeah. So I'll go. Yeah, they're really, really good at the rack. So I'll take Rutgers. I'm
taking Seton Hall. I think Rutgers losing Ron Harper Jr. I think it's a game. I think Seton Hall's got the better roster. You're right. At the rack is tough, right? But I see opportunity. Shaheen Holloway is bringing new life to this Pirate program. Then their last out-of-conference game, they host Drexel. Once again, local game. Drexel Dragons out of the CAA. That's a win. I got this team losing 2 games out of conference. You got them losing 3, right?
Yep. I got them beating Drexel, and they will go to Big East play with 3 losses.
I'll tell you, if they lose the 3rd one, in my opinion, I don't think it's the Rutgers game. I think it's the Monmouth game.
It could be. They may be the team on I guess opening night for them is the 9th, but they might be one of those that's on. You look at the ticker midway through the games and you go, oh, they're on upset alert.
Yeah. So December, remember the Big East starts their conference play a lot earlier than some of the other major conferences, but December 17th, Ed Cooley and the reigning champs, Providence Friars of the regular season, come into Newark. First Big East game for Shaheen Holloway. I got the Pirates pulling this one off. You?
Yeah, this is a hell of an opener too. But I got them winning. If the game is at Providence, I'd go Providence. But I'm going to take Seton Hall to win their opener with Shaheen Holloway.
Yeah, I do too. And then they head to Cincinnati to get some of that Skyline chili at Xavier. That's a loss for me.
Me too. Tough place to win.
Yeah. Then they head from there a couple days after Christmas. So a week later after the Xavier game, they head to Marquette. If you listen to our Marquette preview, I took Seton Hall to win in Milwaukee, but this gentleman on the other side of this here, he did go with the Golden Eagles. Any changing your mind after reading off that roster, or are you're still content on that?
No, Marquette's got to win one of these games. So yeah, I'll stick with Marquette to pull the upset here in a close one. All
right, and then New Year's Eve, awesome game here. Mike Anderson, critical year for him at St. John's. Posh Alexander's back. They go out in the portal, get some big names. Jones from DePaul, Curbelo from Illinois. They head to Newark. Man, this game's tough. I'm going Seton Hall. It's in Newark.
Yep, yeah. Seton Hall gets it done. This what a great New Year's Eve game this is.
Yes. I gotta tell the wife. I gotta tell her, hey, look, I know normally I cook for the holidays here, but can you order us a pizza and then do something for a few hours? Because I gotta watch this game. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, let's hop into conference play. But before we get into conference play, I want to tell you that the Seton Hall Pirates 2022-23 season preview on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, brought to you by No House Advantage. No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. You can play in pick-up contests versus other people for a shot at winning $250K in cash. Download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for correct picks, and climb up that leaderboard for your shot to win big money every day. You can also test the skills versus the house and win 20 times the amount of money you enter if you hit all your picks. Bet on up to 5 player prop over-unders or individual player matchups across every major sports league. You know, that includes the NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA, NASCAR even. All right, sign up now with the promo code SGPN at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app in the App Store to get a first deposit match up to $35. Make sure to check out No House Advantage today and experience daily fantasy sports redefined. All right. Look, I'm not going to go game by game on this schedule because injuries can happen. You never know. But I'm curious if you see like a 3-game stretch where you're like, oh, man, what a brutal 3-game stretch. But if they can somehow go 2-1 and grab a win or maybe 3-0, I'm curious if it's the same 3-game stretch that I have marked. I'm pretty sure we're going to see eye to eye on this one. And I'm very curious blindly right now, if you were to look, what is yours?
I'm going mid-February where they got to go to Villanova, come home, play Georgetown. Then they got to go to UConn. If they can't go 3-0, I mean, you can't slip up in that Georgetown game just because you got at Villanova and at UConn. We see this so much in college hoops with these bubble teams or teams that are just right there outside looking in or solidly in, where you slip up and you lose a game like that and it spirals into a 3-game losing streak.
I went the backside of that. I went your February 18th matchup at UConn, then home to Xavier on February 24th, then home to Villanova on February 28th. The main reason why I mentioned that is there is like a recency thing. We saw it last year when Xavier lost a lot of games down the stretch. I thought Xavier should have been in the NCAA tournament. I called for it on our show, for this very show. And they did win the NIT, and I think that proved to me that I was correct. But my point is they got cold down the stretch. Like final 2 weeks of the season, they got cold, and I think people forgot about them. I think there is a recency bias. So I when I look at those games, if they can somehow find a way to get a win in stores, or you know so then they come home and take on Xavier and Villanova, 2 opportunities to get resume builders against teams I expect to be, you know, decent seeds in the NCAA tournament. And you could even say the February 24th, home to Xavier, February 28th, home to Nova, and then March 4th at Providence. So, I mean, if you can find a way to get some wins there, go 2-1 in that stretch, I think it'd be pretty key depending on, you know, the rest of your resume, but that could really look good for getting in the NCAA tournament. So let's get to it. How are they going to finish in the Big East?
I'm going to go 6, and I think they get in the NCAA tournament.
Trying to remember what I've said on the other shows. Go listen to all of our Big East previews, by the way. They're all fantastic, if I may say so. But I believe I went Nova 1. I want to say I had Xavier 2nd.
Yes. And
UConn. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then Creighton 3rd. Then UConn and Butler kind of right there. I will put, so what is that? So that's 6th, right? That's 6th. So I got him 6th too. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think it's going to be it's razor thin between them being 5th, between them being 7th, because I think St. John's is kind of the St. John's and Georgetown are kind of these teams where it's like if they live up to their talent on the court, they could be really, really good. So
and you got Providence.
That's true. And Ed Cooley, yeah, he's definitely he's bringing in a lot of new faces, but hey, the guy can flat out coach. So let me ask you this. Best case scenario, obviously I think we got him in the NCAA tournament, but best case scenario, how far?
I mean, maybe they could sneak to the second weekend. I think realistically, maybe this could be around a 32 team.
I think best case scenario, Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, Sweet 16, but I cannot wait to see what he can do recruiting-wise and to see this team perform this year. Obviously, a lot of expectations. They got a target on their back now. He steps up from St. Peter's to Seton Hall. I can't wait to see Shaheen Holloway. I think it's a great fit. Folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience, and remember to subscribe to the College Football Experience. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. And then, folks, you want to check out all of Ryan's work, all right? Ryan is the host of the NFL Gambling Podcast. He works with the NBA Gambling Podcast. He also has the Ryan and Russia. If you see the drop, if you're watching on YouTube, behind him currently, give him a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Like I said, the guy worked with fucking Bob Huggins, all right? You know who I work with? I work with Joe at the fucking burrito stand, all right? Right up the street, all right? I got nothing. I'm flexing on nothing, all right? Anyway, subscribe, tell a friend, and also get the SGPN app. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Check out, obviously right now, MLB, the World Series going on. Check out the MLB Gambling Podcast. Check out the NBA Gambling Podcast, NHL Gambling Podcast, all that good stuff. Even the CFL, the Road to the Grey Cup, baby. Subscribe, tell a friend. I can't wait for college basketball season. Come talk college hoops with us or whatever your sport is, even if it's a monster truck madness. I'm sure you can find a way to chat in our Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. So do all that and let's have some fun. And I honestly, I think they're one of the most exciting teams in college basketball. This is the College Basketball Experience, Seton Hall style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.